Miami spend less or more time with Hannah after she befriends Coral and Cease? Well, that's a really good question I asked myself. I'd probably say she probably spends less time with Hannah if she's trying to distract herself. Hannah's a good friend. I think Coral and Cease are really just there to, like, have fun. But, like, Hannah was there for, like, everything. So there could be, a slight possibility in there where Hannah reminds Miami of all of the bad things. Because there are a lot, and I'm not sure why I was that mean. So, like, Miami had a pretty good life until she was, like, 8. Hannah was there for all, so she honestly might just, like, remind Miami about it a lot. But she doesn't like a lot of what Coral and Cecil do. Being so worried about them is probably, like, the best distraction for her. Because she's trying to think about protecting someone else so that she can protect herself. Well, I don't know about brain development at that time yet, but it would still be a lot for, like, well, it's definitely a lot for an 8-year-old at any time to, like, lose their parent and then for, like, 10 years, for a decade, believe that they were the cause of the death. That is no easy burden, and she has no one to help her with it, because her mom is not there for her. She's always closer to her dad. So when she and her mother get into that fight that one night, and she goes over to Hannah and just, like, cries in her arms. When Miami eat the dinner Hannah serves her, would she be hungry? Would she not be, but still eat it anyways? Is she starving? What's it like with Michelle being there too? Miami loves plants and art. Does she hide away and do those things at Hannah's house? When does Michelle leave? Does Michelle like Miami, or does she hate her? Is it because of intrusion or a long time thing? Well, if you, like, really think about it, yeah, like, Miami is, like, what saved Hannah from many things, possibly even at the end of her life, so, you know, that's usually, like, a plus for a friend. So, yeah, like, Hannah's, like, living her own life. She has a friend over. Miami comes, like, at her doorstep, just crying in her arms. Well, I mean, judging how Miami has a really kind personality and how she saved Hannah from, like, the worst, Hannah probably has very nice friends. So I'm sure Michelle would probably be understanding. I'm not sure if Miami would already know Michelle. Possibly not, because Miami's so wrapped up in her own stuff. So yeah, like, Michelle would probably be very understanding of the whole situation. She might, like, nod her head towards Hannah and be like, is everything okay? Hannah would probably be like, no, and then she'd probably be like, shaking her hand, like, don't do anything rash, or, like, stay away, or, like, let her be. She might give more context in the kitchen, but she knows that she should keep Miami's secrets and not share them without permission. So usually after something quite traumatic, like what happened with her mother, usually people are not really in the mood to eat. I'm not really sure what that says about, like, too many other things. Well, Miami usually puts other things before her own, so if she believes that, like, she needs to take the benefit of the doubt and just eat the food, that's probably what would happen. Unless Hannah went up to her and said, it's okay if you don't want to eat, I understand. Because Miami is very good at throwing her own needs away. And at that moment, Miami would probably be emotionally unstable, because this is probably the most emotion she's probably shown to Hannah in the last decade. Because after her father died, she hid away. And while she is close to Hannah, there are probably some things that she also hides from her too. Which is, like, probably not. Because there are things that you can keep to yourself, which is usually normal. Because when you hold everything in for so long, there's only a certain amount of time until everything just explodes. what she had away at Hannah's house. Like, she likes plants and she loves art. I like to imagine that her eyes are just red and she, like, sits on a rope swinging chair. And she just, like, fiddles with a leaf, like, where she just, like, uses her fingers to constantly outline and re-outline it. Just for the fun of it, though. Like, I can't really imagine she's, like, smiling while doing it. It's probably, like, zero emotion face because she's been wiped out. Which, like, again, like, I can see why she would get wiped out. Hannah probably, like, kindly call her in. She'd probably sit next to Maiyami at the table. And, like, Michelle would probably, like, sit across. I mean, Michelle being a really kind friend, she'd probably try to make conversation. She'd be like, oh, hi, Maiyami. How are you doing today? Oh, actually, she probably wouldn't ask that. She'd probably be like, what are your favorite things to do? What are your favorite hobbies? And she'd probably, like, ask Maiyami about that. Or, like, Hannah beforehand might be like, you probably shouldn't, like, question her too much. She seems very uneasy right now. It would probably just be best to leave her be. I like to imagine that Michelle and Hannah are probably just having a normal hangout. It's right, it's close to dinner. They probably just want to make dinner together. Probably, like, stay around until, like, late night, and then Michelle would probably, like, go home. Which, I mean, like, you know, like, it does make sense. Does Maiyami stick to Hannah after this? Does Hannah meet up with Michelle again later? Does she tell Michelle what happened, or does she keep Maiyami's secrets? Is Hannah a good friend, or does she make a lot of mistakes like Coral sees? But I like to imagine in, like, the last decade that Hannah would probably make a lot of mistakes, and Maiyami would obviously, like, probably be there to help. Like, somehow, I wouldn't even ask why. But, like, it'd be, like, pretty understandable that she would. And if she's, like, 18 years old now, she'd probably be, like, a lot more confident in things. And so if she does meet up with Michelle, like, later, she'd probably, like, not tell Michelle. She'd probably just be like, sorry, Michelle, I would really love to tell you, but it's not me who should tell you this. It would have to be Maiyami. Which would probably put Michelle's character into question and be like, well, would Michelle try to become friends with Maiyami to try to figure out what happened? But it'd be very unlikely she would find out anyways, even if she did become friends with Maiyami, because Maiyami is so shelled up right now that even Coral and Sea Salt don't even know her past trauma. Like I said, they are in their own world, and that is okay for them. Although it just creates unhealthy distractions for Maiyami, which is not so good. But Maiyami needs to figure this out on her own, that you can't run from your problems. I mean, the idea probably just sounds intimidating for her, which is fine, but you still have to figure it out at some point. She would probably never open up to Coral and Sea Salt, which makes me think that her final sacrifice would probably leave them confused. But she says, I'm giving you the life I never had. Coral might sit there for a moment, and she might finally, like, take it and realize, like, what does she mean by that? What have I been missing out on? What things have happened that I have not been there for? Did she skip kindergarten and had to take it anyways because she wasn't academically ready? What is Maiyami's relationship with her twin brother, Og? Did she push him away like she did with her mother after her father died? She would probably push him away too, but she would always probably use him as, like, dirt, which she used in her fight with her mother. What I mean by dirt is she uses him as something against her mother, so that her point stands out better. I think there's, like, a lot of stuff going on with the kindergarten thing that's very, like, to be determined. Because in the fight as well, like, Maiyami's mom lies to her, which is what drives Maiyami far away. and it makes her say such hurtful things against her mother. But her mother never really says why it happened. So I think that part will always remain a mystery unless we learn more about the mother and why she did what she did. The whole kindergarten thing would probably be revealed to Og, considering that the mom had a stronger relationship with Og. I would say that her father dying is probably the most pivotal point in Miami's character arc, because it really impacts her, and when she has no one to turn to, she just turns away.